Welcome, welcome, Jim, Charlie, and Titan. Your host, Mundo, in the house. Got the whiskey coming. Got my drink. And I hope you guys are having a good Mundo Madness Monday. I'm ready to party. How about you guys? Mm, Tonight I'm good. It's gonna be a good conversation, I think, you guys. We're gonna end up talking about recharge ports and kill keys, kill switches, man. I wanted to get onto this topic because I was on Etsy. Cinzy, what up, yo yo? Welcome, welcome, my buddy. Come on in. It's all good. It's all good, man. So yeah, man, I wanted to talk about recharge ports and kill switches and kill keys and all of that above. Now, and the reason why is because I was looking on Etsy today and I looked and I saw all the different recharge ports, whether it be small ones, fat ones, round ones, square ones. I mean, you name it, I saw it, right? And we got some from Saberforge. We got some from everybody you can think of under the sun that has that has the store in Etsy, right? To Saberforge, to, everybody under the sun. And I was thinking to myself, that'd be a good title because I want to see how many people, and if not everyone here, but for those who watch the show later, and also I'd like to see in your comments in the show later on, and that whether you have both the kill switch and the recharge port, or one or the other, right? Now I'm wondering, and I'm pretty sure that it depends on the build that you're building, right? Because each saber is unique and each build is different, and everything that a saber has to offer when you first take on that challenge, I believe that the how should I put this? Okay, when you start the build, I guess the soul and the challenge and the way the build goes will kind of dictate what kind of recharge port, kill switch. Maybe use both, maybe use one or the other. Determine which build you're gonna do, right? Now I've seen quite a few builds where both recharge port and a kill switch are used. Then I've seen some where just the kill switch is used, and then I've seen some where just the reach port charge is used, right? Now, Cincy, Jim, Titan, how about you guys? What do you use most of the time with your builds? Do you use both? Do you use one, or do you use like, which do you prefer? Do you prefer the kill switch, or do you prefer the recharge port with the kill key? Hmm? I want to get into this because I find it, like I said, each build is different, right? And when you put the effort into it, depending on the orientation that you have into the saber, whether it be in the backside of it, maybe it be in the inside where the chassis is. I'm Team Kill Switch. Okay, so team Cindy says he is Team Kill Switch. How about you, Titan? What do you got? Jim, you? Are you both? Are you one or the other? Hmm? Now, cause I when I started Roboy 2.0, I had originally thought about using both, right? A kill switch and a recharge port with a kill key. And I started, I started overthinking this myself, and I'm thinking, why the hell am I gonna do that, right? So Jim says batteries do not last forever. So like removable battery and kill switch, I do not mind not having a recharge port, but all three is great. Oh, all three. JT's in the house. What up? What up, my buddy? Let's see. I used to be hard pro kill switch kill key, but now I'm more lenient and don't care, so let the saber auto off. Hey, that's all good though, JT. I'm glad you said that, man. Because see, I mean, yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter, right? When like I said, it depends on the build. But as I was doing Roy Boy 2.0, I started thinking to myself, I want a little bit more kind of bling to it, but not much, not much. And so, I'll show you guys, right? So as I'm doing this, and I got the chassis, from Rich Sangello, right? And right here is where the the kill switch would have gone. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I've already got, if I turn it around right here, oops, sorry guys, I've already got a recharge port right here, right? So it's got the kill key. And I'm thinking to myself, well, damn, I don't need both. I'm pretty much overthinking it because then I'm gonna have to do a little bit more wiring and just kind of, and I'm doing this to myself because I overthink a lot of things. So, you know, um, yeah, right now I got a bunch of spaghetti right here. I just finished putting in the pins yesterday, right? So, and right here, ooh, I'm so sorry, guys. That light is kind of overshining it. So, right here is the 5 millimeter pixel that I have, right? It's from Saber Bay. Um, and and I've got some glue right up in here, some uh and I was like, like I gotta have it. And so if I turn it back around again with the kill switch being right here, and as I'm all like, you know what? I don't need both. I'm just kind of overthinking this. And so I took the kill switch out of here, right? And I put two LEDs right in here. And then of course I've got the strip. Oops, sorry guys. I've got a four LED strip right up underneath the switches right here. So now I've got the two LEDs, two LED strip here. Then I've got the four LED strip here, and I've got the little 5 millimeter LED right that's right up in there. We're talking about switches, yeah. That I prefer tactile switch over illuminated AV switches. Yeah, I mean JT, I mean we're talking about everything, but tonight it's just like recharge ports and kill switches. But the kill switches, I believe, I mean, are supersede now. Like I said, I think the kill switches supersede the recharge port at times, depending on your builds, right? And and then again, the recharge ports with the kill key may supersede the kill switch. So like I said, it depends on your build, on what you're doing. Jim says if you have a recharge port and kill key, that usually just puts the board in deep sleep and auto wakes the saber. I do not know if it fully turns off the saber like a power switch would. Yeah, I do. I That's kind of a good thinking on that part, Jim, because I believe I don't even though you've got the kill key, in there and maybe even the kill switch, I don't think it fully turns everything off completely. And it could be wrong. I mean, it's just such a low drain that it'll last for a good while, right? But at the same time, I like I said, I guess it depends on what you're using. And then of course, um the type of room that you have in your builds, whether you have to really cram food for things, whether you don't have to cram food for anything. A lot of the builds that I've been seeing actually lately, I've been seeing some of these builds with a 1.3 millimeter square recharge port. Um, Again, I was looking on Etsy and I was seeing the different sizes, the different shapes. You have the round ones, the square ones, the 2.1 millimeter, and of course the Switchcraft, right? The Switchcraft is a given. I mean, most of everything is going to be a Switchcraft if you're going with the recharge port, right? Depending again. depending on the build. Let's see, it's good for micromanaging. Power kill switch cuts all current, but the auto sleep is a slow bleed to get the two in each still on. Yeah, JT, absolutely, man. That's important point, man. That's a very good point, dude. To for anybody who is, to each their own, right? Whether it be a difficult build, whether it be an easy build, utilizing, such equipment as to how the build is going to go. And I really, like I said, I think the build negates what you're going to use most of the time. And again, like I seen, some of the Lukes, that they use the recharge port and the kill switch. Then again, I've seen some of the Lukes where they have just the recharge port with a kill key. Then I've seen some where the Lukes were just, just the kill switch itself. And whether you have a removable battery, a removable chassis, or so, anything like that, it doesn't matter, right? In either way, I think they're fairly important to every piece of them. And again, it depends on your build. Um, Now going back to Etsy and seeing and I was kind of freaking out because when I saw the sizes, right? I saw the 1.3 millimeter square as opposed to the 1.2 square, and then you look over and you see the difference um with the switchcraft, and then you see the difference in the round ones. Now, when I was listening to earlier in the day, and I was seeing stuff on the recharge ports, right? I don't remember which YouTube video it was, but there was a guy that was explaining about recharge ports, and so he was explaining about the SaberForge recharge ports, that a lot of times that they did not have enough threading to really stay stable enough in their builds, and if they did, then it was a little too much or something. However he put it was pretty interesting to watch. And I'd say that good wire management skills may have done a may have contributed to that as well, right? Now, I would say, I mean, if you have decent wire management skills, and you should be able to, with fairly ease of some of the builds, as you get better down the road, when you get more involved and you get more adapted to your building, where you do more difficult builds, then the recharge ports or maybe even the kill switches may make it a lot easier in terms of your builds, right? Like I said, again, going to the recharge ports. I've seen. Let's see if okay. So on right here, since I have a removable battery on the Warlock, right? I don't have a kill switch. I don't have a kill key. Um, it goes into deep sleep mode, right? And of course, it's a golden harvest board right here. So in order for me, and I've left the battery on purpose to find out exactly how long that battery would train. And actually, it is kind of funny because I left the battery in all night and it still came out pretty good. Um, with the deep sleep mode, right? Now, when I came into the garage the next day, and after going to work, coming to the garage, and then checking it out, it did pretty good. I think it was about, I would say about 30% when I got back to playing around with it. Wasn't too bad, and that's just because it was in deep sleep mode. But I think if I take out the battery like I normally do, right? Normally the battery like I charged it yesterday and it's still at 100% right now. And it could be about 90% once when we turn on the Saber. Oh, by the way, I did download the Seismic Charge font and man, it sounds great. So, if you guys are interested on that, go to the saberfont.com and purchase the Seismic Charge um blade font. Oh my God, it sounds good. And I'll do that at the end of the show here. I'll kind of demo it a little bit, man. And it's pretty good. I don't I forgot who it was made by, but yeah, you'll be able to find it on there pretty easily if you look for it by name, Seismic Charge Blade. But yeah. But again, like you said, no recharge port, nothing on here, right? Whereas the Roy Boy is going to have the recharge port on there. And I tell you, let me put that down, guys. Oh yeah, and I got some little material right here with the Mandalorian on my chair. It says this is the way. Um, let's see. I think uh okay. Now it's not working right now, but let me get up and I'm gonna get right my Evo Flex. So I'm just gonna take the back off the Evo Flex here. And man, I need to get this thing working. And so if you look right up in here, and I know you can't see it, but right above, there it is, right here, right below, right? You got the kill switch right here. And then you can recharge it right there. So um it's just a plain old kill switch. And like I said, it depends on the builds, right? Maybe the thinner builds, you can just utilize the kill switch. I'm wondering if I wonder if it would have been possible, and it may not have, but I think it would have been kind of cool if maybe they had a recharge port right here, and where you could just pull the kill key out from right there. I think that might have been kind of neat to do something like that. I'm not sure if it would be, but it's something to think about, right? I think so. I think that would have been kind of interesting to see, um, if that would have been possible. But I think it just holds on. It holds this on right there. And it ain't because because you had the retention screw right here, and it would have been nice to see that. Yeah, of course you have. Well, in looking at the design of it, I'm wondering if I know it holds part of the shroud too, right? But if you made the incorporation to part of it, that could have been kind of cool to have it just like that as well. What do you guys think? Huh? Do you think it would have been kind of cool to see a recharge port right here, or just have the kill switch on it, right? It's interesting because if you go back through designs and you actually look at them and see what you could change up, if you wanted to change up anything, what's possible? Um, well, yeah, man, because even right here may have been a kind of a cool recharge port kill key to have one of these on there where you could just pluck it out and put the recharge port like that on here. Now, I know it has that kill switch and it could have been taken out as well. And maybe you could have where the switch plate right here kind of slides down. You loosen it up and it slides down, and you could have the recharge port on the inside of here, or maybe even your kill switch, right? So there's all kinds of like little things that you can think of or do or maybe switch around if it's possible with those kind of things. Now, again, the balance, right? My father's memory saber. that I'll be working on a lot later. I haven't had any time to do anything with it right now, but it's going to, I believe it'll have a recharge port into it. Let's see here. I believe and again I've got the chassis from Rich Sangillo, man. God bless him, man. He makes some badass recharge he makes some badass chassis and stuff like that. I've got an old CFX in here just to kind of figure out how I'm gonna just wire certain things in there. So um see, and I believe it's got an area right there. Oop, sorry guys. It's got an area right here for the recharge, for the kill switch, and then do, 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 do. Yep. Alrighty. So see, right here, it just has the area for the kill switch, right? It's got the area for the kill switch right here. Back here will be where I have the crystal chamber. Then I'm gonna have the OLED screen right here. Buttons will go here, and the battery will go right up in here. So I haven't really done any of the battery stuff just yet, but I did wire in my speaker already. So, and I believe this is just a speaker from uh f- uh let's see, what was it? 2 watt 8 ohm speaker from Amazon. I believe I got, and I got this a while back. So yeah, but yeah, so it's got the kill switch area right here, and that's what I'm going to use for this build. As a matter of fact, I think the kill switch that I was going to use for Roy Boy, I now am going to use for my father's memory, right? Rudy, what up, Rudy? Welcome, welcome, my friend. Welcome, my neighbor, my brother. So yeah. And I'm still kind of messing around with the switches for this build as well. I'm hoping next year I can get to this build. So cause and I'm hoping to finish Roy Boy within about a week or two. Hopefully, well, sooner than that, but I might work on a little bit of it tonight. I don't know just yet. So we'll see how that goes. Kind of working on all of these as I go along, and let's see, working on all of these as I go along. But I still need to do the switches for the balance right here and get that going because I had done the switches and the switches were too long on the buttons. So what I needed to do is I need to find some buttons that were smaller, the breast part of it, and utilize those because once once I put the chassis on here, the uh, the little buttons stick out too much, so the chassis wouldn't sit just right and perfectly. And I was just like, man. And I've already gotten where I had already wired up the switches, and I was like, man, no, Charlie, what up, Charlie? Charlie's like, hey, see, Rudy, you got everybody coming in, man, and telling you hello, bro. Everybody loves everybody here, man. Grab a drink and let's party, guys. And each to their own as far as their drink goes as well. Water, Coke, whatever you will, whatever your pleasure, man. Have at it. But I think, like I said, just a kill switch and the kill keys. Then you have your kill up your man. My brain is going 100 miles an hour again. See, I'm starting to get my brain's going faster than my mouth. My mouth has to catch up with my brain. So I'm gonna bring it down just a little bit, right? Bring it down just a little bit, and get to where I need to be. because my brain is just doing all over the place, and I need to quit babbling, babbling. Okay, so recharge ports and kill switches, man. And I've seen so many different kinds, right? And I was looking up, and when I was searching for some kill switches, and of course I got mine from smugglers, right? And I saw some on Mauser. Of course, a lot of people order from Mauser, a lot of people order from smugglers and Etsy and Amazon. So there's a variety of places that you can go and look for. But one of the things that I found interesting is that when I was looking for high amp switches, I couldn't find the ones that I saw on smugglers, right? Thanks, Rudy. Thanks, brother. Um, I could not find the switches that I was looking for because when I looked for high amp, they never said high amp. They only said like the high switch where the black part of the switch, and it didn't say anything else. And then as I was reading those, they didn't really have the amperage that smugglers had, or even and Mauser had the same amperage as smugglers. So those two places were the best places to find your high amp kill switches, right? And again, I went with smugglers, and I find it hilarious because what I did was I actually got the kill switch from smugglers, and I tried to shave it down. And when I tried to shave it down, there is a spring in there, and I was thinking to myself because when I was putting it in Roy Boy, I was thinking to myself, okay, the black part of the switch, the main part of the switch, is a little too high, so I need to just shave it down a little bit. Well, lo and behold, when I got down to where I needed it to, a little spring almost popped out. I'm all like, oh no, it's got a spring in there. And then I'm thinking, damn. So what I ended up having to do was to kind of take a little bit of pair of tweezers, right? Push that spring down in there, and then put some super glue on top of it, and a little bit of E6000. It was already almost like very sticky, so I put that on there and I held it down probably for about about a minute or two. And I was like, okay, so the spring is not going to pop up and it should be good to go. So I made sure that the slide switch was sliding and connecting to where it needs to be. I was like, man, that's interesting. I had never known that there would be a spring in that little particular part, right? So if you buy a kill switch and you shave it down, uh, make sure that if you buy the one from smugglers, know that if you shave it down too much, you're gonna run into that spring, and that spring's gonna pop out, and you're gonna have to buy another one, right? I got really lucky. I really got really lucky with that. So um, that I found pretty interesting. You live and learn, right? You live and learn. As a matter of fact, hold on, guys. I'm gonna step out. Right, you can still hear me, and I'm gonna talk while I kind of move over, and I'm gonna grab that kill switch that I'm talking about, so I can show you guys, and it should be right here because I wired it up, right? I had already wired it up, ready to go for Roy Boy, and let me see here. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Okay. Man, come on. I don't know if it's going to. Yeah, it's not gonna focus on it too much. It won't focus on it. But anyway, so here's the kill switch, right? And I don't know if you can actually see that little bit right here on top, where that's the glue right there, because that's where I was shaving it, right? And I didn't get very far on shaving it down. In getting that, I tell you, like I said, if it would focus right, you can actually see the little spring from the glue right there. Um, but it works. I mean, like I said, I got it and I glued it down, and it it should work perfectly. Because I stuck that little, spring back in there and really glued it down just right. So, and I got, look at that. Yoda's like, ooh, he wants to get in on this. What do you say, Yoda? Was that a bad move? I don't think it is, man, because I kind of screwed with the kill switch. What do you think? Well, you're right. I didn't try. I did it. I got it to work just as good as it was, right? he Yoda got mad at me, guys. You don't get, I had to do it. I had to make it work, right? I had to make it work. And sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Like I said, depending on its build, you got to do what you got to do to make it work. Now, if your cram foo is good, right? Titan, I had to, man. I didn't want to buy another one, dude. I had to save it. So, as a matter of fact, now that I have it and I put the balance back, maybe I should see if it really fits into the balance or not. Right? I should have done that in the first place. So let's see if it's going to fit in there or not. Because I tell you. I hope Rich is watching, man, because like I said, I got to give kudos to Rich. Rich has been killing it, man, with these chessies, and so is Tano Sabers too, man. They've been just killing it with all this stuff. Oh, no, let me see. My brain is just not working today, so let me see. Is it? I'm gonna have to kind of finagle it in there. Finagle it! And it drops. Go figure, right? I drop everything, man. I don't know about you guys. If you're about as clumsy as I am, because I'm like I got butterfingers, dude. When it comes to these builds and stuff, I've got butterfingers, and right now I guess I'm pretty shaky from after the meal. But let's see here. Let's see. That's the come on, come on. Maybe we should make a show called the Saber Boat. Saber Boat. I don't think anybody would watch it. It's not the Love Boat, damn it. It's called the Saber Boat. We're gonna go fishing for sabers, dude. What do y'all think? You think it'll be a hit show? No, maybe not. I think the man, and eventually, I need to get a hold of the Saber Museum and see if they would come on or not. I think that'd be kind of cool. What do you guys think? Would y'all like to see the guys at the Saber Museum come on and talk about all the builds that he's been sent and put into the museum there? I mean, I think that'd be an interesting topic, wouldn't you? And and then of course, again, I was thinking maybe trying to get Carly King on here. And as a matter of fact, I actually texted her today to see if she would like to come on, and no response yet. But of course, she's probably like busy, 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 right? She got a lot to do. She's like very more popular than anybody else. So let me see here. Dang it! I got one of these things, and man, I tell you, I don't want y'all watching any of my shaky hands here. So, but I'm talking to y'all while I'm trying to get this in there, and man, it is not being friendly with me. Nope. And I ain't even drank enough. Maybe if I drink more, it'd be a lot smoother, right? It'd go a lot smoother if I drank a lot more, probably. So, what are you guys all up to tonight? Besides, hey, I know you guys are hanging out with me, and I would pretty much I really appreciate that, guys. I mean, it means a lot that y'all hanging out here with me. It really does. And like I said, I think it's fun. We talk sabers and all that good stuff. Now, I know Cinzy's been killing it on that flying game that he's doing, man. Woo wee, some good stuff right there. And I was like, yeah, dang, I need to get my stuff. I need to get my gaming thing going. The force powered by booze. It should, right? It should, man. And I got that good old stuff, man. I've got the Silver Star Texas Honey Liquor. I'll tell you. Oh, you know what? It could be because I have that tape on there is preventing it from going in. That's probably why. Duh, Mundo. Take the tape off, damn it. Yes. And we are through now because I took the tape off, damn it. Okay. And here we go. So there we go, guys. So you just seen right there. Well, as I was talking to you, I was putting it in, right? So yeah, I mean it's not final all the way in there yet, right? But we know it is in there. See, Rich? I don't know if you're watching, Rich, but now we got the kill switch right there. Yeah. Thank you, man. Flew with all the French and German guys on Friday. Oh, dude, that must have been awesome. And I was watching, Cynthia, I was watching, and and you saw the comment that I made, right, about the sidestepping with all the flipping and all of that stuff. And I put on, cue the, what is it? The Kenny Loggins, man. Kenny Loggins song, dude. Right? I don't want to say it because you know which one I'm talking about. You know, the Top Gun song. I don't want to get flagged here. I hope I don't get flagged for that. But yeah, kick in the afterburners, dude. Sidestep and don't crash and burn, man. And I thought that was kind of cool, man. You just going this way and that way and every which way. I'm like, dude, I used to do that. That was Shikama, one of the German guys. He's insane. Yeah, I thought he would be pulling a me, man. You drink all that much beer and get going, and there you go, man. Right? I'd have been flying like that with as much beer as I drink. That'd have been fun. Yeah, hop, skipping a jump. That would be funny to have a game like that, but you're in the Millennium Falcon, and then what is it? Do the do the speed light speed jumping, right? Do it like that, and you see how the Millennium Falcon would do that shit, just and then light speed, light speed. I think that would be cool, man. I think that would be cool. And then all of a sudden, you'd have to have a kill switch right there, so that when you get through with light speed, boom, you kill the engines, so that you don't burn up the hull, right? Interesting, interesting, interesting. Now, I think that would be kind of cool, though. It would be cool, man. What I need to do, man, I still haven't got a new R2, and I'm still looking. I saw, one of those R2s that Walmart used to carry that had that you could use your phone to do to keep it going and to move it and all that stuff. Forgot which company made it, but anyway, I was looking for one, and these guys are crazy, man. They want like 150 to 200 for that thing when it used to be $30 at Walmart. Like, and then I don't think the company that produced it is even in business anymore, or I mean, or they don't even produce it anymore. So yeah, I mean, it'd be a little bit rare, but I don't think it's that rare. I think there's a lot of people holding on to theirs and they don't want to get rid of them, which is cool. It's all right. It's all good. But still, um, and I think that a lot of things don't lose their value though. I mean, in time, things get more valuable as they get um more rare, right? Kind of like comic books. So the rare comic book that you find, the better. So the more money it's going to be. And I think eventually with these recharge ports, there might be a time where some of these recharge ports are not even going to work for hardly any of the builds. And you're going to go to either your kill keys and just the I think switchcraft and the kill switches are going to be your main two. And then, of course, you're going to have your switchcraft with the 1.3 millimeters of the square recharge ports. The 1.2 squares, maybe, right? But and a lot of the round ones, just because the way the builds and the chassis are going now, I think things are kind of getting much smaller. So we might be looking at a lot of smaller stuff because you're getting a lot more Greeblies within the chassis these days, right? Just like Tirfon Orbital has some great Greeblies within his chassis. And then of course Ton of Sabers has done some amazing stuff. I don't know, have you guys seen his Vader one? That's insane, man. His Vader one is insane. And then he also did, I think he just did a new chassis, Crystal Chamber chassis too, for John at Collector's Outpost, right? And I mean, it's just been an amazing time to see all of these different chassis, all of these different things come out, as well as the Greeblies within the chassis. And then again, you have your choice of your kill switch or your kill keys, and your recharge ports, right? Yeah, that Vader chassis is dope, man. Jim says the standard jack was 3.2 millimeters and now 2.1 is the normal. I find the 1.35 too small. Right. Now, Jim, was the 1.35 also for, well, I think it's smaller, right? Because even the rice ports is another thing as well. Though, and the rice ports now, depending on your board as well, the rice ports are disappearing. So now everybody's really pretty much just using recharge ports, the kill switches, and that's pretty much, it. So the rice ports are no longer being, because you're going to your USB-C inputs, right? So you can recharge your battery from USB-C, or or with the recharge port, right? And it's just, yeah, the tiny baby is 1.3 and the 1.35. And I have, and I don't think I think I have those. I don't think I've got one close by. I probably don't. Um. Anyway, but yeah, you know, uh, and in Roy Boy, because I was going to utilize, because I was using the CFX, right? I was going to utilize both the rice port and the uh, the recharge port. And what I find is that because the metal jack to the rice port was kind of interfering with some of the electronics, I figured, okay, well, maybe I better take out the rice port. And also because the Golden Harvest does not utilize the rice port. So there again became my problem that once I took out the rice port from Roy Boy 2.0, it left a different challenge all in itself because I couldn't figure out what I wanted to use until I came across, you know, when Rich was telling me, why don't you just use a one of those 5 millimeters in place of it? And he got me thinking, well, yeah, I mean that I think that's an excellent idea is to use a 5 millimeter LED in its place. So when I found the 5 millimeter LED and I put that housing in there, that the the rice port was a little too tiny, right? The hole for the rice port. So I had to actually drill into it. See, Jim says they're okay for 18650s. It's smaller, but I think for 21700 30 amp, I would not go smaller than the 2.1 millimeter just for my peace of mind, safety wise. Yeah, no, I agree, Jim. I agree. Yeah, I agree. I, you know, I am kind of dumb when it comes to a lot of, the math part of it and stuff like that. Um, when I look at wires and stuff like that and the amperages and stuff like that, I kind of go like, oh, okay. So I kind of find and I look at what's viable to what people are doing, and I say, okay, well, they're going to this amp, they're going to that amp. So if they're going to these amps, I think I can get away with that, pretty much, right? And it's worked out so far. It's worked out so far for me. And I think, but again, in the amperages, I think if you utilize the high stuff, the high amps, you're pretty much safe with most of the things, right? Depending on the batteries that you use as well. And I think eventually everybody's gonna possibly get away from the 18650 batteries, and they want to go bigger with the 21700s. Again, it may depend on the build, right? Whether you can utilize the 18650 or the 21700. And like because like the actually at first when I was doing Roy Boy, when I first started Roy Boy, and this was before Rich made the new chassis for me. I actually did a 26650 battery with it. I mean, it worked out good because shit, I wanted the longer runtime, right? Well, 4.2 volts charging at 2 amps, a bigger jack equals less heat. Yeah, of course. Um, just like battery wise, right? I mean, you got the bigger battery, longer runtime, smaller battery, shorter runtime. All of that depends on everything, but you know, um, in terms of and like with wires, right? If you supersede like on the battery part, the if you're using a less than 22 gauge, so part of how Mundo Mundo has come. Oh man, I try, dude. Yeah, I try, Jim. I mean, I've come a long way compared to what I mean, I'm not where I should be, honestly. I mean, I learned a lot slower than a lot of people, but you know, perseverance is everything, man. And I want to get just as good as everybody. You know, I want to get just as good as everybody. If I may not be as good, but I will be just as good. You know what I mean? I might be just right below. But I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. I mean, there's no giving up. I love this. I love this stuff, man. It's such a great stress reliever. Keyboard error. I get those all the time, dude. I get those all the time myself. But it's such a great stress reliever, right? But there's so many things that you can check out. And again, if you go on like I was saying, you go onto the different websites, like I said, Mauser and Etsy and Amazon and stuff like that, and you look for some of these things and you see the differences in them, whether they be small, round, short, square, anything, right? And again, you don't have to utilize any of those sites as well. If you have, and again, I want to stress, man, I tell you, like I said, I had an old VCR, right? And I took out all of that board, right? Right here, all these components on here, right? All of these components. And there's things on here that I could actually utilize out of here if I really wanted to in making different things. Anywhere from the jacks to uh, whatever, man. Let me see. So, like I said, if you got old electronics, tear it apart, and you can utilize some of the switches out of there. You can utilize some of like I got a whole bag. I don't even know if I got the bag right here with me or not. I probably don't. But oh yeah, no, I put it up. But out of this board right here, man, I ended up with 8603 uh resistors, right? The 330 ohm resistors that go on the boards. I tell you. So for nothing, pretty much just a few, maybe about 30 minutes of soldering off those resistors. Now I don't even have to go buy any. I got six to seven resistors to put on any of my boards right now. I tell you. Now, I mean, I'm pretty sure that if I have any more electronics laying around, I'm pretty sure that I can find switches. As a matter of fact, I have, and it ain't on this board right here. But there's some other electronics that I have, and there's some other switches that I found on there, and I can utilize the 30 gauge wires for them on any builds, right? So my imagination is up in the air right now with this stuff because I tell you, going and finding like damn, I'm gonna throw this shit away, and here I am throwing this stuff away when I can actually use some of this stuff for builds. And one of the things that also is I'm interested in is a junkie build and a found parts, right? I'd like to eventually get a junkie part build. Um, and it may be a scrap flex, I don't know. It may be something totally different. But I've got something up here just kind of brewing, and it just like, okay, but but I need to take care of these first. I need to get every single one of these done. Well, actually, I mean, this is, I gotta gut this, and I'm not gonna shine it in everybody's face, but I'm gonna gut this and get put NeoPixel in this eventually. So I mean, it's already black. I mean, I may put some silver tape on it, just kind of accented it out a little bit, right? But I do definitely want to get and put sound in here. So I don't know. I may drill this out and see how. Mm, let me see. God dang, that is long, man. Look at that. Jeez. So I don't know. I don't know if I can, but I may bore this out a little bit and just vent it out. If not, maybe I can find a different pommel for it and vent it out that way. I may just kind of get rid of this. I don't know yet. Like I said, a lot of things going through my head through things. But yeah, and here this one doesn't even have a recharge port. Doesn't even have a kill key, right? Nothing. Not yet. Just batteries. That's all it takes. Let's see, we have Scrap Flags to death. Maybe it's time for Rust Bucket Scrap Vader. That sounds interesting, Jim. Rust Bucket Vader. Scrap Vader. Ooh. Now, okay. And I know somebody's probably going to take this idea, right? And we're going to see this idea eventually because they may hear it from here. And we're going to see somebody with it before I even get to it. But you know what? I don't care. More power to him. What if we saw bunny ears on a Vader? Hmm? What if we saw some bunny ears on a Vader hilt? Hmm? Now, would that be funny? Not funny? Cool? Not cool? And the reason why I say that, and I'm gonna get my Vader stuff right here out. Not all of it, just part of it, right? I'm not gonna get all of it out, but I'm thinking that maybe we get. Ugh, let's see. What would you guys think of having these bunny ears on a Vader like that, right? But of course, it's gonna go up on top right here. These bunny ears like this on this Vader right here. Definitely a first, right, Jim? I'm telling you, somebody's gonna watch this and they're gonna do it before I will. Yeah, I don't care. I mean, if we see it, right? If we see it, we see it. I think that's gonna be kind of cool to see that. Titan says Benji from NH Nerferders showed off a Vader flex, didn't Nick the that he made. Oh, I saw it, Titan. I saw it, and that was like sick, dude. That was totally sick, man. I like that, dude. The Vader flex, yeah, man. That was super cool. But I had been thinking about this for several weeks, man. Several weeks. And I want to try to find where these bunnies' ears are at, and I want to try to incorporate them onto the Vader like this. As a matter of fact, I think I can get a 3D printed one from Shapeways or something, I think, right? I can get another one of these. And I think that's what I'm going to do is get another one of these from them and then get some of these bunny ears right here and incorporate it into a Vader here and maybe do like you said, the Vader rust bucket type thing, Jim. So we'll see, man. I don't know. I mean, that's something to incorporate, man. Um, that's an idea to work on. And I'm not sure. I think I think I may incorporate just a kill switch on that one, man. Uh, you know, I don't think it would be. Ooh, okay, all right. And I know again, here is another idea that somebody's probably gonna take, but it's all right, man, because if we see it, it's gonna be badass, right? But everybody knows that it's gonna come from right here that these ideas are coming out. My idea book is somewhere in here. I don't have it with me, and I should be writing this shit down, right? Beat a rusty scrap Vader would be epic. Right? I think so too, Jim. I think you're on the right track of that, right? But maybe while he was like maybe Anakin was trying to when he was first developing his Vader hilt, right? One of his very first Vader hilts, and he was just trying design after design, and he was scrapping all of these designs, right? Because, but again, let me go back to my idea for a kill key that has a little bit of a light up. But I think if you find his breathing apparatus, all of his breastplate thing, right? With a little bit of maybe of the 5 millimeter LEDs that go inside of it, right? Or maybe even smaller than that. Maybe some of those SMD LEDs. Put it in there, and that will be your kill key switch, right? So when you put it on, it kind of lights up, right? And then when you take it off, the the animations come off. So when you pull that kill key, I don't know, man. I mean, they're just the possibilities are endless with that, man. Um, but I think that would be pretty awesome to have the Vader's breastplate light up as a kill key situation, right? Felicia! I thought they had a pod racer SQ Saber. Well, they kind of do, so to speak, you know? I if you really think about it, the F-16 from TCSS, somebody colored and painted it and did the pod racer saber pretty much. And it looked fantastic. Simply because the end of it looks like the end of the pod racers, you know, uh, engines, right? How about a saber that comes out of a robotic hand? Ooh, hmm, a robotic hand. Kind of like, I think, if that would be possible, Jim, I would have to go. It probably would have to be a blade from oh dude, what's that? Oh, man. What's the clear blades guy? Mm-mm. Man, he does all of the katana blades and everything. Dude, it's right at the tip of my tongue. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm having a senior moment right now. Well, yeah, I can. I'm 50 years old. Screw it. Mm-mm. Let me see. Yeah, I can see him, and it's the clear blades, and he does all kinds with the lightning in there, and I just haven't seen him lately. I haven't seen him. Oh my gosh. Mm-mm-mm-mm. I'll have to look at that later, but I know that I was going to get some of his blades, and especially the katana blade, because it had the lightning in there, right? He was the most popular one that had the LED blades, not the light up. They don't light up. There's just a solid light, right? The inhale blades. Um, Starts with the B, I think. I'm getting there. Ripper blades. There you go. It was an R. Titan, thank you so much, man. You saved my ass. Ripper blades, right? Um, yeah, I think we would have to utilize ripper blades to pull that off, Jim. Yeah, for the robot hand, right? Maybe do one with PVC pipe and have the saber inside the PVC that would slide all the way through, and then you would have the ripper blade come out, and you would only have this half of the saber stick out of the hand. Yeah, shit, right? The three-edged sword. Yee-hoo! Titan said robot hand, not me. Laugh out loud. Titan. Hey, but okay. Sorry, Jim. I'm telling you, I tell you, I see things backwards, guys. What did I tell you? Yes. My damn dyslexia, I tell you, man. I warned you guys. I warned you guys. Eventually, I'm gonna say shit backwards or see things backwards. I'm telling you, man. The three-edged sword. Has anyone ever asked you how your blades work with Neo Sabers? No. Three edge. They have it actually. They with Neo Sabers, huh? I think well, I think they're just the same as anything. You know, if you got the pins, if you got the pins, I mean, every bit of blades should be the same. Now, if you're having in-hilt LED, right, and Neo Sabers, and your Neo Sabers, I mean, I think the best blades would have to be, you know, the Ripper blades for that. Um, I believe that whether you have the in-hilt LED or the pixels, right? Yeah, I mean, I mean, all the Neo Sabers, the strips. If anybody's asking about how the blades are like that with the Neo strips, and for those who don't know, right? For you know, for those who are new for the hobby and stuff like that, you have the strips that go inside the blade, and of course, you have all the diffusion that goes in here, right, as well. You have the PCB that goes back here, and the pins that are in the Neo Sabers. The pins. Let's see. I'm not just technically knowledgeable, so I just kind of want to attach it and turn it on. Laugh out loud. Oh, uh, okay. So well, yeah. Let me show you a little bit, and I don't know if you can see in here. Okay, this hilt right here is not working, but I'm gonna see. You see the pins in here like this, right? And I'm gonna take the backing off right here. So you have the chassis in here, and within this part of the chassis, you have the board, all the wires that go in here. Of course, you have your speaker back here. Um, then you have your little SD card that goes in a slot right here. There is, I don't know if you can see it in here, the SD card right there. And then if I turn it over, you got your recharge port right here. And then you have your kill switch, which is tonight is, you know, tonight's show is all about the kill switches, kill keys, and recharge ports and stuff like that, right? So this just basically turns and off and on the power and stuff. If you don't have your board set to sleep mode, where most boards now these days, you know, will go into deep sleep mode, right? And then once you power it up, all of that power goes into these pins that are set in here. So all of the wires and the board, everything together just powers up these pins, and these pins get electrically charged. When they get electrically charged, then you have the PCB right here that's within the blade, right? The metal and whatever's in here is a PCB, so it's just kind of like plugging into. I would say like plugging into almost a a laptop or a computer and stuff like that. It just all the electricity goes through here. Sorry about that. Goes through here, and then it powers. You have 22 gauge wires and probably one either 26 or 30 gauge wire for your data, right? And your data is the green. Your data is the green, and the red and the black um, power lines, right? They're the 22 gauge is red and black. So you have three powers, two power lines and one data line, right? That read everything from the board. So the board tells everything, all the strip that goes in here. So you have when you buy your strips, you buy I guess it's 1 meter, 144 LEDs in a strip, right? And when you're making your blade, when you buy your stock blade and you cut it down to the size you want, then you put your strips together of your LEDs, and then what you have is diffusers, right? And your diffusers are kind of like hiding the LEDs and to make the blade look full and viable Nice. Make it look pretty, right? So you've got foam, you've got the what's called the shrink wrap, so to speak. You know that stuff that they use in baskets and they shrink it down and stuff like that? It's called shrink wrap. So that you use that um, underneath, of course, the foam, right? And then before the foam, hey Chet, how you doing, my friend? And then with inside the foam, on the LED strip itself, you want to use the shrink tubing, right? So the shrink tubing holds all of your LEDs together, so they don't fall apart. They don't come apart when they are glued together because they have that gluing on the back side of them. And you take one of the strip on the backing of the strips off completely because the two sides that have glue, they won't adhere together. And so if you watch Mad Cow's videos on strips on making a blade, he gives an excellent blah, 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 tutorial on how to make blades, right? And so with all of those things together, in come all of those components together come and make your blade and make the hilt for your Neo Sabers, right? And again, if you're just using an in-hilt LED, if you're using just an in-hilt LED, then you really don't need these strips right here. You can use a tube and get the shrink wrap and just put the shrink wrap in here, and then you can diffuse it either by sanding the blade or maybe putting some kind of other diffuser in here a little bit just to make it a little bit where but you got to make sure that when you do that that you don't bring any dirt or any specks of dust into it, because once you do, you're going to see it within the blade, right? And especially if you use a clear blade. And with those, usually you want to use a clear blade for your in-held LEDs because it makes a world of difference. Sometimes they'll be dull, sometimes they'll be a lot brighter, but depending on how you're diffusing it makes a big difference, right? And that's three blades. That's pretty much how the Neo Sabers are. I mean, they're all electronically charged, and all the electronics come together and make the blade scroll up and down that you see, all that good stuff. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty much going to, and I'll show you three blades, because right now I'm going to fire up the I'm gonna get the Warlock, and I'm gonna demo a little bit of the seismic charge uh, font that I just bought, and I actually put it on. What was see today? Monday, last night actually. I put it on last night, man, and I was like, oh. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's get to the seismic charge font, man. Stand by. Yes, sir. Ben Kenobi. Stand by. Let me get this on because it sounds much better. In three, two, one, let's wake her it up. There we go. I love the blasters on here too. Let's see. Trying to see if he'll. That's bright. TK, what up? What up? Rico's, you crutch it, me? By the way, what up, dude? Yeah, man, I'm demoing the seismic charge font. that I got from saberfonts.com, dude. I love these blasters, man. No, don't want to choose blade effect. Well, I might. Let's see. All right. No, I don't want music. But yeah, NeoPixels are compatible with XenoPixel sabers, but anything Profi or CFX or Golden Harvest NeoPix are compatible. Yeah, right, Jim. I mean, most of them are all compatible, but the NeoPixels. I mean, XenoPixel, right? Ooh, almost cut that off. But yeah, man. But the XenoPixels, they're a beast on their own, man. I believe. I have not dealt with Xenopixels myself, and I don't think I'm going to. I really don't think I'm going to, because that, and Pen says I have some Xenopixel sabers, and all the regular NeoPixel blades work with it. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. There's your answer, dude. So Titan says he has them, and the NeoPixel blades work with them. Great. So that's awesome. Let me see. I want to do a different font. Sound menu. Nah, He-Man's crazy. I think I should do a hilt that's nothing but 80s memorabilia, right? I love that. I like the blasters on here too. All right. And I got the twist off effect going right there, right? Let's do another font. Sound menu. Oh, Vendari is a good one. So I don't know if you guys seen the Vendari font that Gabe has shown on Civilized Sabers, right? But the Vendari is wicked, dude. Yeah, the Vendari is just super wicked, man. And this is just like blinding, dude. Yeah. Now it's gonna wash out a little bit on the camera here, but I tell you, the blade is like super red. I mean, you can see it on my face right here too, man. TK, that shit way too unforgettable. Now the blasters are freaking awesome, man. And I can't. I gotta thank Gabe for demoing that Vendari um, font, man. It's freaking awesome, dude. And of course, got the twist off, right? We'll go to another one. I think. Sound menu. Let's see. There's another cool one right here. And now this one I had it on yellow. Oh man, what's going on here? Now this font is very interesting. because they got the swings just right on it. And again, you got some pretty badass blasters on here. You know, and I'm surprised that nobody has done. um, I'm surprised that nobody actually has done. Let's see, another '80s cartoon, more '80s cartoon type sound fonts, right? And I can tell you honestly tell you that Thundar is such a badass hilt. And then I've seen like oh, the Celtic Jedi is another great font, man, from Jedi FX, right? And the Thundar sound font is made by Juan Sith. That I mean, he's just done a phenomenal job. And there's a crap load of sound font makers out there that have just done a phenomenal job. Jada Lorian, Juan Sith, Jesse Kyberphonic. I mean, all these guys, these are just wizards with these sound fonts, right? And you know, each and every one of us has to thank them for the hard work that they put in, and like that seismic charge font. I was reading, with the maker that it took him 3 months to make that font, and I mean, it just yeah. Nova Star made a Thundercats font, but from older, yeah, yeah. Nova Star has made some unbelievable ones too, man. As a matter of fact, Chet, I went to his some of his older videos on YouTube, and when he was demoing a lot of the sound fonts, and I was thinking, man, I would love to get a hold of some of those fonts, but some of the fonts that he has are not all of them are on the soundfont.com, right? I may get a hold of him and see if there's a couple that he may sell to me personally. I don't know, and see, because I think one of the ones that I had seen was like the cyber. I think it was like cyber crystalline or something like that. I forgot which one it was, but it sounded pretty awesome. It was kind of like a computerized type sound font, which was pretty amazing. I liked it, but I looked it up on saberfont.com, but it's not there. Mm. And it was pretty amazing though to see some of those fonts. And and I have not gone through a lot of font people and seen some. Oh, Battlestar Galactica font would be cool. Yes, Titan, it would be. Um, as a matter of fact, I downloaded some Battlestar Galactica, the um, some of the fonts, right? That some of the quotes from the show, and and especially with the robot ones. Man, I tell you, let's see. TK says play a duel. That one would be fun as hell, but kind of costly. Are they strong enough? Yeah, play and duel. Yeah, the blades, man. Who knows if they'll hold up that much? Cause some of these blades, if you just drop them just right, they crack. And so I tell you, yeah, wham whack. But if you look and what do you call it? Meg Two Sith, he did a video on whacking a tree with one, right? And it didn't do nothing to the blade. It was crazy. So I don't know if maybe the material has gotten a little bit cheaper, or maybe that you know not every single glow stick is going to work the way it should, right? I mean, every blade could be different. I mean, they're not, depending on what they are, yeah, and whether they're thick, whether they're thin. I mean, you know some in some of these blades, I mean, as thick as they are, as thick as they are, you whack them kind of hard, or you whack it just right, and it may crack. And who knows? I mean, you may hit something really hard and things just go flying off, right? So it just depends. It depends on, on how well built they are as well. Um, and I know, but of course, Space, he makes some great blades, man. I mean, just bright as hell, brightest blades on the planet. So, civilized sabers, people, remember that for the newbies that are watching this. Get your blades, civilized sabers. Yes, they're a little pricey, but I tell you what, Space only buys the best stuff for the blades. I mean, he goes and he buys the Adafruit LED strips, and he does all of the everything for the blades. I mean, he builds them to last. He builds them to uh, be as bright as they can. And I don't know how many people will put 500 LEDs in a damn blade, man. He's crazy, dude. I can't wait for the day that I see him put 700 LEDs in a blade. And it's coming, people. It's coming. Watch out. He's going to come out with the Octastar, right? He'll have, he's already got the Pentastar. He's going to have the Octastar come out eventually. Yeah, man, I tell you. Okay, so and TK, with some of your hilts, I want to ask you this, man. With some of your hilts, do you have both the recharge port and the kill switch, or do you have either or on your sabers? Do you have a just a kill switch, or do you have a recharge port and that is it? What do you have in your sabers, or do you have some with both, some with one or the other? Right? Because that's tonight's topic. We're going into recharge ports and kill switches to overwrap some syrup and jam it in there, oven bake it. Ding ding, it's done, man. There you go, TK. It's all done. It's all in the oven, and ding ding, it is done. Right? And that is funny. So, what do you say, man? Tell me. Tell me, what do you think? What do you got? One of your sabers, all of your sabers, some of your sabers. What do you got? Do you have kill switches? Do you have kill keys and recharge ports, or do you have like a combination? Maybe you have a saber that's got both of them in there, right? Do you have a saber that's got both of them in there or not? That's what I want to know, and everybody in here too. Everybody in here, we're talking about it, and there's some, but kill switches, and then there's some that got both kill switch and kill and recharge ports. Right now, I find it interesting that you have both the recharge port and a kill switch. I guess if one doesn't work, you can have the other one as a backup, right? I think I find that a little bit fascinating because if you really think about it, if something for whatever reason doesn't work out, let's say you're putting in your kill key and into the recharge port, and for whatever reason it keeps dropping out. For I guess maybe it loosens up to the point where it's not going to stay in. Then I guess it would serve you, you know, I guess the kill switch would serve it appropriately because then that's your backup right there. So even if you never need the kill switch, maybe it's possibly to be have a maybe it is a good idea to have both of them in there. And Jim, as you you were talking about it earlier, that all three you wouldn't mind, but as time went by tonight and I thought about it, I think, you may have been right about having, both as in there, right? Chet says, I used to always use a wired battery with a recharge port. Now, the last few builds, I've been using a removable battery with a kill switch. Okay, so there you go, right? Prime example. Thank you, Chet. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate the input because And again, Chad, I was saying that it depends on the builds, right? Whether you're going to have a removable battery, a recharge port, or the kill switch. And I think the kill switch makes things a little bit easier for some builds, and then the recharge port makes it a little bit easier for others. Whereas maybe other builds you're gonna have both, right? Jim says that TK everything's beyond a dual star blade is recommended to be more of a show blade. Even though it would hold up to moderate dueling, why risk breaking a $500 blade? Yeah, I agree, Jim. Why risk it? I mean, I wouldn't want to lose $500 just like that quickly. Honestly, shoot, even just a dual star enough is crazy enough for me to not even duel with. Really, I mean, none of my blades that I have not dueled with them in any way, shape, or form. But I'm sure maybe my daughters have kind of played around with them without me being here. I don't know. Maybe I've left them because there's some that are happening, and it could be I don't know. Maybe it could be the blades themselves. Maybe it could be the pins. I know there's some kind of screwy stuff goes on with the blades at times. So yeah, yeah. You good? What's behind me? Oh, this. It's the cover for the chair. You see, the wife was asking about this little material that I got from was it Joann's, I think. Yeah, it's the if you see it, I don't think you can see it real well, but it's got the Mandalorian. This is the way. The wife didn't know what was on my chair, and instead of having the chair, all black and blue like this, I decided to cover it with the Mandalorian. Kind of, get a little something different going, a little something different going, right? I tell you. Gotta make things interesting, folks. You gotta make things interesting, right, Yoda? And of course, we already know what Yoda's gonna say. Always. The force is always with me. It's funny that he says that because every morning when I go to work, one of the guys that I take care of is so funny. He goes, "Good morning, Obi-Wan." It's like, I only wish. I tell him, "You're going to have a good day." I use the Jedi mind trick, man. Yeah, I tell you, too funny, too funny. But yeah, oh gosh. Man, time has flown by tonight. My goodness. And we've had such a good time tonight though. I hope y'all have had a great time tonight, man. I thought it was an interesting topic tonight. I did. I don't and guys, I know there's going to be times where I will do the same topic here and there. And the reason behind that is because if I want to be there for the up and new coming people in the hobby, right? The newbies that are going to be coming in, asking questions and so forth. And I want them to watch these videos. I want them to sit down and hear what we're saying to each other, what we're talking about, and of course feel comfortable in having if they want to come and they want to chime in on the show. I want to certainly encourage people to come in and chime in and feel welcome. I encourage them to come and ask questions. I encourage them to have fun with us. Tell us a little bit about themselves. Tell us where they're from. I also want to encourage them to don't feel like any question is too stupid or anything because you know the we need to make people that are coming into the hobby feel good about coming into the hobby. But just one blade. Well, I mean, TK, that's your money, man. I mean, I'm not gonna tell you, right? Of course, it's just an experimentation. What could go possibly wrong? Well, do the. I tell you what, TK, you do the experiment, and then you tell me later on how it went, right? You tell me. Now you can do one that's not $500, but man, I tell you, uh, Meg Two Sith already did that. So, and you saw how that video came out, right? And how his blade came out. As long as you're comfortable with knowing that it's not warranted or guaranteed, right? Yeah, that's the biggest thing, Jim. You got to make sure that if you beat the hell out of it, you can't send it back to get fixed for free. You're gonna have to pay for it to get fixed, man. You know, Space may not be a little happy with that though. But then again, you could always do, buy all the stuff and build your blade and try it out and do it, man. Right? I mean, I've got to actually rebuild a couple of my. I actually got to rebuild one of my blades, and I'm fixing to order the stuff for it. And eventually, I'm gonna buy some. Uh, I'm gonna try a TriStar. Um, I've got to save up and get a TriStar package from space so that I can learn how to do the TriStars myself. I would love to learn how to do the TriStars and make my own TriStar blade as well. I think that'd be a lot of fun to do, and it'd certainly be a lot of fun to do it. Certainly be a lot of fun to do it. It may take me a little bit of time, but the less expensive would be to buy a TriStar or QuadStar blade kit and build your own. Yeah, see, that's the kit that I want to get, Jim. And I want to do both. I want to do both the Tri and the QuadStar kits, and I want to build my own and do it that way. I mean, I've already have the blades, and what I'd like to do, matter of fact, my 28-inch blade right here, I'd like to actually pull all of this out and do a TriStar with the 28-inch blade, and then with the QuadStar is probably do the other one, right? But I gotta send one of the blades back to Ant because it's not working properly. So, and I'm not sure what's going on with it, and we shall see what happens. And but I gotta figure out whether it could be the pins, it could be the blade, it could be something else. What's crazy is that it's happening on the Warlock, and it's a 100% full battery when I was doing that. As a matter of fact, I put it on the Golden Harvest website about what was going on, and the font went off. You want to do a quad star with the 1280 LEDs? Oh, damn, Jim! Jim's gonna go all out, man. Jim is definitely gonna go all out. Quads are really brighter than most, right? Yeah, yeah, TK. Because I mean, you got um, a lot of LEDs, man. A lot of LEDs, and I tell you, because even Ant has to sand down the blades a little bit to add more diffusion to it because they're so bright. And like I tell you, man, he's just been busy pumping them out. The quad stars are current brightest blades. Yeah, I mean, what he's gonna end up getting that Pentastar pretty soon. He's working on it, dude. He's working on that Pentastar. I think as time goes by, and he finds those strips that get brighter and smaller, smaller and brighter, you're gonna find that it is gonna happen. It will eventually happen where he gets anywhere from 600 to 700 LEDs in a damn blade. Right now he's got 500. He's got 500. I seriously doubt he's not gonna stop at 500. He's gonna find a way to get that 700 mark in there. Now, I don't know if he's gonna be able to get past the 700 LEDs, but I'm sure he's gonna get there. Right? The Pentastar is just a bit dimmer, but hopefully Anthony will make a brighter Pentastar. I'm sure he will, Jim. I'm sure he will. But I'm pretty sure he's looking and seeing what he can find, and eventually, if Adafruit, ups their ante on, on the LEDs and NeoPixels, man, I tell you what, he's gonna find a way to get everything in there brighter and better and everything else. Um, you know, it's just a bit dimmer, but tell you what, I mean, it's just as bright. I mean, you probably light up your whole damn garage. You could probably light up your whole house with one of those blades. Walk around and you got yourself a damn glow stick for at least a couple of hours, right? And if your power goes off, you have several of your batteries all charged up before then. Yeah, tell you, runtime goes down beyond 530 LEDs. Yeah, but then there goes your bigger battery, right? You get into the 26650 if you want a longer runtime. Or is that with this 26650 battery? Now, that's a 21700, I believe, right? That you're talking on the battery for the 530 LEDs. Now, I know the shorter run times would be now your 18650s probably wouldn't be about 30 minutes with the 530s. 21700 and 2650 would be nice. Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. So I got a 21700 battery and I have two 26650 batteries. But the two 26650 batteries that I have, um, they, oh man, I actually soldered to them. So those probably gonna have to get rid of and buy some more 26650 batteries, right? And figure out how I can incorporate the 26650 battery into a couple of builds. And I know they're probably going to have to be in the 1.25 hilts from TCSS. I think that's the only way I'm going to be able to incorporate a 26650 battery is only with that size of hilt. I mean, it's going to be a big hilt, right? Well, I mean, pretty much this size right here. I mean, that's because, it would have to be the chassis for this though would have to be like very. It's going to be pretty tight. It's going to be pretty tight. A glow stick that's toxic fun, and that was awesome. 1.35 or 1.5 hilts. Yeah, I would say the 1.5 hilts actually, Jim. Those probably would be the better. I think what the 1.5 hilts are what the version twos, I believe, the V2s. I'm not sure about the V1s. I think the V1s would be a little bit thinner, right? Smaller in diameter. Comfortably, yeah. I remember the girls went nuts with them in high school back in the day. TK, you used the glow sticks to go after the girls, dude. Hey, come on, baby, let me light your fire, right? I could just see TK right now, just like, come on, baby, come on over here. Use the force, dude. That's hilarious. Too funny. Too funny, man. Too funny. So, TK though, you never told me, man. Do you have some of your hilts with recharge ports, and you got a kill key, or do you have some with just a kill switch? Hmm? They were assholes. They were assholes. I mean, everybody's got them. You know, I remember on Halloween in 1996, had one break in my. You had a saber break in your a blade break in your mouth or a saber in your what? Oh, the glow stick. Never mind. Never mind. My brain is like thinking blades, and I'm thinking, wait, what? Okay, glow stick. Ah, that was it. You broke one in your mouth. Oh my god. And those things, those are really toxic, man, aren't they? No wonder you had such an affinity for everything sabers now, dude. Yeah, you really lit up the night there, man. Stuck out your tongue and glow in the dark, right? Electric boogie nights. TK says, I never got a hilt for myself yet. That's why I've been here. Oh, okay. Well, TK, what are you waiting for, man? Save up that money. Go trade in your car so you can get some hilts, dude. And you said it. You said it yourself. Remember the last time you were selling. You were gonna go sell your car, man. Get you some hilts. My teeth glowed until Thanksgiving. Oh man, you energized the turkey, buddy. Oh my gosh, I can just picture it right now. Oh, I bet you were the talk of the meal, right? So when everybody was just making and cutting up, and you were glowing in the middle of the day, right? Getting your plate, and all you had to do was smile, and it was glowing. Oh. So yeah, for any of the newbies coming on, man, though, we need to make them feel comfortable, loved, and I want them to kind of sit at the table and have a drink with Mundo, your favorite bartender at Civilized Sabers, right? Yeah, he could pull up a couple of these with me, and I tell you, we'll have some fun talking Sabers all day, all night, however you want to do it, man. Let's see, I would go to the movies, and when the lights went out, I would smile really big. Hey, this way, people, for the exit. And you just smile, right? Oh, oh, that's hilarious, man. That's funny. See, and that's the whole point of this channel, guys. Is we have fun like this. I mean, we talking sabers, but we cut up just as much, man. So again, for you newbies out there, and you're watching this channel for the very first time, I encourage you to come on and chime in. Even if it's 5, 10 minutes, it doesn't matter. Like three blades, right? And three blades. I'm so excited that you came on, and you were able to come have a question and maybe got your question answered. Hopefully, with everybody here, maybe learned a little bit. I mean, if you did, you did. If you didn't. It's all good. It's all fun, man. Um, whether you're technical or not, it doesn't matter. Here I want to talk sabers, hence, saber talk, right? And in memory of Hesh, Heshy, man, I really miss the guy because he was, one of the three amigos with Anthony, Gabe, and him, and you know and he loved Sabers. He loved to talk Sabers. He loved to talk movies, and so we could talk movies just the same too. So I think maybe one of my next shows, maybe not this next Monday coming up, but maybe Monday down the road, we could pick a show or a movie, Star Wars movie or something that we could talk about and just kind of go to town with it and have a lot of fun doing that, right? And again, we can also look at maybe some different designs of sabers and talk about. some designs that are coming out as well. You know, like the you know Balin skulls, that's come out and everything else as well. Let's see. TK says I've always repaired Xbox 360 before, and they said this soldier stuff for free. But why am I done? I could get paid for this. Yeah, you could, right? Monday Madness Cyber Talk every Monday nights. Thank you, Jim. Yes, that's right. Yeah, hopefully every Monday, right? Hopefully. If it can't be helped, I will not be on, due to family obligations, or maybe I'm sick, or there's just something that needs my attention. And I will put it out there. I'll put it on Instagram, I'll put it on Facebook that, there'll be no Mundo Monday, so that everybody's aware of that, right? Yeah, get that money, TK. Get that money, dude. And again, importantly, I want to encourage the new people coming into the hobby. Come and have a seat, for Mundo Mondays at 8:30. I'm going to try to do it at 8:30 most of the time. If I do it a little bit earlier, I can do it a little bit earlier, but I prefer to do it at 8:30. Kind of gives some, maybe some leeway, but so that everybody can catch it live if possible, right? I used to do it at 9:45 Central Time. I'm still at Central Time at 8:30, but I used to do it at 9:45 simply because I would not get out of work closer till 9 o'clock at night. So by the time I got home, be about 9:15, 9:20. I'd have to hurry up and eat, say hi to the family for a few minutes, and then get up on here. Now that I'm coming home a little bit earlier from work, I'm actually able to do the show over an hour earlier, and that way I can catch a little bit bigger audience because everybody's on a different schedule, and especially like Felicia, where she works nights and she watches, then here. So Jim says 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 Central, and 9:30 Eastern. There you go. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate that. Jim is on point right here, man. Taking the words right out of my mouth and putting it on there so everybody can see. Thank you. Yeah, Jim's amazing, man. You can learn a lot from Jim too, Zielis. You can learn a lot from him, man. I tell you, he's just a magnificent person, and I thank him for being here every night with me. It's such a pleasure to have him, and everybody on here as well. Titan, Cinzy, Felicia. I mean, all you guys, Chet, everybody here, man. I tell you, I'm just so blessed to have you all here with me every night, and I'm sure that for the new people coming in, you guys can learn a lot from them as well, right? And if you enjoy talking Star Wars, if you enjoy talking about sabers, no matter how big or small, what the problems are, it doesn't matter. You can always look into the manuals, you can look into videos, you can find all kinds of content to help you out. And if you just want to sit, talk sabers, and have a good time, come on in at Mundo Mondays and have a seat, have a drink if you want, and let's talk some sabers. Let's have some fun. I mean, the sky's the limit here. The sky's the limit, and the more the better. And I tell you, I plan on getting. Yeah, it's a passion, dude. Like I said, I plan on getting a lot more guests on here. Some of the guests that I reached out today, they had other obligations, and I'm always telling everybody. I said it's always an invitation, never a have to come on. I encourage people to come on and talk and chime in. And if you don't want to, hey, that's okay. That's not a problem, right? This is just a way for people to have fun and talk sabers and anything. As a matter of fact, I think one of the yeah, an open invite, right, Jim? An open invite. One of the shows that I want to do, and this is kind of a little bit far in the future, not just yet, because eventually I'd like to acquire some blasters, and then we'll have a show about blasters, right? Now, if you watch like Sabers Forever and Tearfon Orbital and of course Solos, they have had some amazing blasters, right? And so again, that is another discussion for another day. So I don't want to go too far into that, but we'll talk into some of those blasters later on for another show. And I think I'll probably get a couple of printouts or whatever, or I may try to get them on the show and see if they're willing to come on, so we can talk blasters and what their thought process blah, thought processes were on getting these done. And eventually, I'd like to get some printed ones and do a couple of them myself, and we'll have a lot of fun doing that. Blaster show would be nice. Yeah, I think so too, Chet. I think so. Like I said, there's a lot of different shows that I've been kind of thinking of. I mean, it has, different, things. I mean, we'll have Sabers incorporated into it. But again, like I said, it's Saber talk, but at the same time, we're going to go do a little bit different things, right? We're going to keep it fresh. We're going to keep it fresh. We're going to keep different topics, but it's Mundo Madness Monday and it's Saber talk at the same time. So we're gonna incorporate sabers along with other topics as well. And like I said, there's gonna be times where I'll probably do the same topic a couple of times here and there over and over again. But that's just simply because for the newbies that are coming into to the hobby, and we want to make sure that we invite them and keep them happy and all that good stuff, right? Dude, making a blaster, TK. I wish, man. That would be epic for me to make. I would love to make the Mando one, actually. I really would. That would be freaking awesome. But guys, um, okay. So if you're new to the channel, you're watching it, thanks for watching the channel. I appreciate it very much. Um, if you if you'd like to, then you don't have to like and subscribe. Hit that like button. Come on in. Take a seat, have a drink, come hang out with us, talk Sabers, talk Star Wars, however you will, what you want, when you want. I tell you, it's an open invitation. And just like Jim says, and make sure that, this channel would, Mundo Madness Monday would not be possible without Space Windu, Anthony Legepa for Civilized Sabers, right? Civilized Sabers makes the brightest blades on the planet, and I tell you, they put every heart and soul into it. And Gabe, God bless him for all the demos that he does in testing the blades, showing every blade that comes out. When he demos those blades as well as space, when they complete a blade, they make sure that, what you see is what you're going to get before they send it out. So make sure you like and subscribe to the channel to Civilized Sabers and take a look on their website, civilizedsabers.com, so that you can see and decide if you want some of the blades for yourselves and let them know. Like I said, and then also I piggyback off this channel as well on my YouTube channel, which is Mundo Cabrera 7007, right? At Mundo Cabrera 7007. Kind of funny, right? Say that 7 times fast. And also, if you guys have any comments, if you have any questions for me as well, if you have a topics that you all want to talk about for the channel, give me a holler. Give me an email at e_cabrera, CABRERAII at yahoo.com. That's triple I, okay? C8, um, C_E CABRERAII at yahoo.com. All right. So that's my email. And if you guys you want to hit me up on questions, you want to hit me up on topics, bring it on. Or you can even make any comments right here. Put in the comments if you want to see here's some different topics on maybe some different hills or anything interesting that you see in saber wise, and let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about it. Until then, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. I love all you guys. Thank you all for watching from the bottom of my heart again. TK, Jim, Chet, Cinzy, all you guys that have been here with me and will continue to be with me. Man, I tell you, I am so blessed to have such good friends like this. I tell you, right? Um, Charlie as well, man. Can't forget Charlie. And Cinzy, you guys, man, I appreciate it. And where's Three Blades? It's Three Blades. Oh, and JT, man. Again, JT, thanks for stopping by, dude. I am so happy you made it. As a matter of fact, JT, if if you listen to this a little bit later, man, I need to get you back on the show again so we could talk some more stuff and how things are going and everything else, man. Okay. So until then, I'm gonna brand up, guys, and I love you guys. And next Monday, I hope to see you guys. I'm pretty sure I will see most of the crowd. Yeah. All right. Peace out. Let me see. No,
In
not yet.
here, we pour whiskey.